ביאור משנה ב', explanation for משנה ב'. לאחר שנמנו במשנה הקודמת תכשיטי אישה, now that we covered all the jewelry of the women, easy. Things that you might take off or things that you might not take off. And it depends on the era. Sometimes the rabbis are afraid you take things off. Some other eras, they're not afraid you take things off. For example, rings today, the rabbis for some reason are not afraid they're going to take it off. שאסור לאישה לצאת בהם בשבת משום גזרת חכמים, כמו שבארנו שם. So משנה א', we're talking about jewelry for women. באה משנתנו לפרט דברים שהגבל רגיל לצאת בהם דרך מלבוש. Now we're going to mention things that men are not allowed to go out, even though it's a garment. וחכמים אסרו עליו לצאת בהם בשבת משום גזרה. And there's a decree on this. Even though it's a garment, the sage says, no, you don't wear this. Let's see what. Yeah, a decree. And we don't know yet if the decree is because of Shabbat or for another reason. Yeah. Let's see. לא יצא האיש, a man is not allowed to go out, בשבת, on Shabbat, בסנדל המסומר, with a sandal with nails inside.
כפכף בעברית.
Yeah, it's a sandal that they put nails, there's a type of nails inside the sandal.
Inside?
To the floor. So
you put your foot on?
Yeah, so it will grab. So it will grab good, it's like traction.
Oh, on the bottom.
On the bottom, yeah. So you put it from the top. Yeah. בסנדל של עץ, it used to be a sandal of wood, המחוזק במסמרים, that used to be strengthened with nails. הטעם מבואר בגמרא שגזרו חכמים. Says, why did the sages say it? What's the problem? It's a sandal, it's on your feet, it's a shoe. So said the decree was like this. משום מעשה שהיה בימי גזירת השמד. It was a time that they used to have decrees against the Jewish nation. So it was either first temple, second temple, I'm not quite sure when it was. The Greeks, the Romans forbade people to celebrate Judaism, whatever the case was. שהיו נחבאים במערה. So all the Jews go together in one of the caves to have the services, without the Romans or the Greeks knowing. ושמעו קול מעל גבי המערה. And then there was a noise from above the cave. So they're afraid the Romans or the Greeks are here coming to get us. כסבורים היו שבאו עליהם אויביהם. When they thought that the enemies are upon them, דחקו זה את זה, just like it happened in Meron now. When the people were rushing and stepping over each other, exactly that's what happened. דחקו זה את זה והרגו זה את זה. And they killed each other. Yeah, exactly. And they killed each other. בסנדליהם המסומרים. Now if they had soft shoes, maybe not so many people would have died. But it was like needly and harsh shoes in the bottom. And many people died. יותר ממה שהרגו בהם אויבים. So it's true that the Romans killed them a little bit, but more died because they killed each other with the things. באותה שעה אמרו חכמים, at that time the sage says, אל יצא אדם בסנדל המסומר. It says a person should not go out in a sandal המסומר. That was the say. ושואלים בגמרא, and it says in the Gemara, what do you mean אל יצא אדם בסנדל המסומר? אם כן, he says, I don't understand. What's the difference, Shabbos or no Shabbos? So say, you're not allowed to, ever, because it's the dangerous thing.
They can come in Sunday too.
Exactly, or a Tuesday. It's got nothing to do with Shabbos. So how come you say only on Shabbos you're not allowed to go? So, אם כן, אף בחול יהיה אסור לנעול סנדל המסומר. So the Sheza says, I don't understand this idea, the Gemara says. It should always be forbidden. Doesn't have to be on a Sunday, it can be on a Monday mincha. ומשיבים, and they answer, שעשה המעשה בשבת היה. The Gemara says it was on Shabbat. ולכן אסרוהו רק בשבת וביום טוב. Therefore they prohibit it only on Shabbat and on holidays. שהם ימים של איסור מלאכה, because those days a lot of Jews get together. So the regular Monday and Tuesday, we don't have so many Jews get together. It's only, how many times do you have so many people in Meron? Not on a regular Monday or Tuesday. It's only Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. It's a special day. So on those special days, like for us, it's Shabbos and holidays, then you prohibit it, because otherwise there's not so many people together, you don't have to worry about it. ומתקבצים בהם לבתי כנסיות ולבתי מדרשות. And then there's a big gatherings. From what I remember, in the Gemara, I remember a different reason over there, from one of the Mefarshim. If I remember correctly, it says like this. It's an interesting thing, that it says, actually it has not so much to do with the occurrence, it's something else. This was called the Roman sandals. They were called Roman sandals. Oh. And because they were Roman sandals, it was like, imagine, you know how the SS troopers used to have the special boots? Okay. You know, just for the guys who used to kill the Jews. So they said, don't wear those shoes.
It belongs to the Romans.
It belongs to the Romans, exactly. And now, so why didn't you have to say, don't wear those shoes on a regular day? If I remember correctly, it says because people didn't have, like today, 5 pairs of shoes. They had 1 pair of shoes. Oh. So if once you tell them not on Shabbat, it means that's it. It's gone. It's out of the picture at all. Velo beyachid, and not in a singular one. So a person is not allowed to go out with 1 sandal or 1 shoe. Lo beyachid, velo yetze האיש בסנדל יחידי. A person is not allowed to go with 1 shoe. אף על פי שאינו מסומר, even though it is not nailed, שמא יחשדו שהוא נושא את הסנדל השני תחת בגדו. Not because it's a problem. He just because people are going to think that he is carrying the other shoe. או שמא ילעגו לו, or another thing, people are going to make fun of him. Say, hey, look at this clown walking with 1 shoe, and then he's going to be embarrassed, and what he's going to do? He's going to take the other shoe off. Oh. And so you're afraid of that. ויחלוט את הסלן ויטלטלנו בידו, and he's going to carry him in his head. ברם, but, so he's not allowed to walk with 1 shoe on a regular manner. On a regular manner. Just, why would somebody put it? I don't know. He lost one of the shoes. He doesn't know where it is. Okay, the dog took it out to the yard, and now at least it says, at least I am going to walk with 1 shoe on. You know, at least one foot. But if he has good reason, like the example we gave before, he's got a broken foot. ברם איסור זה אינו אלא, this prohibition is only not when, בזמן שאין ברגלו מכה. It is long as he doesn't have a wound in one of his feet. אבל בזמן שיש מכה ברגלו אחת, but at the time that he has a wound in 1 foot, מותר לצאת בסנדל יחידי ברגל שאין בה מכה. He's allowed to go with a sandal on the shoe, on the leg where there's no wound. שהכל רואים, because everybody is going to see, שמפני המכה אינו נועל לסנדל אחד. Everybody see, hey, I understand why he's wearing the sandal. And because look, the other one has a wound. Yeah, it's very clear. ויש סוברים, and there are those who say exactly the opposite. You're only allowed to wear the shoe on the one with the wound. How? ויש סוברים שמותר לצאת בצנטל יחידי ברגל שיש בה מכה. This is in the Gemara. In the foot, because that's what you need it for. You need to protect the wound. So, back and forth. Gemara. This is in the Gemara. Okay. Next thing. לא יצא האיש בתפילין. A person may not go out in tefillin. In tefillin, so why would you say that a person should go out in tefillin? ששבת אינו זמן תפילין, because Shabbat is not the time for tefillin, but for me it's an ornament. It's an ornament. It's a תכשיט. I use it as a תכשיט.
ושבת זה מוקצה.
That's why tefillin is מוקצה?
לא חשבת לשמות אותו.
But if I use it as jewelry?
As jewelry?
Yeah, it's nice.
אבל לשים אות על... זה עכשיו, יש לך עם שבת ירוק.
Now you're talking Kabbalah. I'm talking Kabbalah over here. Talking a lot of I think tefillin is nice. Tefillin is jewelry. Yeah?
No.
Think about, you bring in Kabbalah ruling. You're right, but it's Kabbalah. Think about just plain say. The guy wants to use tefillin. He likes the way it looks. And he wants to put. You have to remember, again, you don't have the mindset. people used to wear tefillin all day long. So it was something that you see all the time, and it doesn't look good. A person doesn't look good without tefillin. It's like you not wearing a jacket. He says, I have to wear my tefillin. It's in my jacket. Every day I wear my tefillin. I want to wear tefillin also on Shabbat. I know it's not the time. I know, I realize.
But I want a jewelry.
I want my jewelry. I want to look nice. It's like a jacket. That's the idea. Lo yetze haish betefillin. A person should not go out in tefillin. Shabbat eno zaman tefillin. Because Shabbat is not a time for tefillin. V'areihem kemasar. We're going to consider them like carrying. Ela ho'il veyotzim bahem derech malbush. But I'm wearing them. What do you want? The guy says, I'm wearing them. You wearing a hat? I'm wearing tefillin. What's the difference? Yeah. It's derech malbush. It's the way you wear it. En isuran ela midivrei sufrim. He says, you're right. God says, go ahead. From God, you don't have to be in korban. On Shabbos. It's not a korban. It's the sage. It's the same thing with the nose ring for the girls. Yeah, you're not doing a mitzvah. The guy knows he's not doing a mitzvah.
It's not a mitzvah. It's just he loves that feeling because
exactly.
All week he wears it.
That's not what we're not going to wear it today. But the sages prohibited, just like a nose ring for the women. You're going to take it off. ואפילו לדברי האומר שהשבת זמן תפילין, and we're going to see there are those who says that Shabbat is a time for tefillin, that you can wear tefillin on Shabbos. Some say you're allowed to wear tefillin on Shabbos. Who says you're not? Maybe it's not a commandment, but it is a time for tefillin also. אסור לצאת בהם בשבת. Still he says you're not allowed to go with them out on Shabbat. גזרה שמא יצטרך לחלצן בחוץ. Why? Because he says, you know why? You're walking on the way, you're walking to shul, and you need to go to the bathroom. What are you going to do now?
You have to take them out.
You have to take them out. We're going to worry that what?
You're going to carry them.
That's right. Other things on you don't have to take out.
Yeah.
This is a thing that you cannot go to the bathroom. So that's why we're not going to let you. So even those who permit to go out with feeling on Shabbat says, no, we're not going to let you go do it because you might need to go to the bathroom and then you take them off and then we're going to have a problem with carrying in the public domain. Yeah, but again, it's only from the rabbis. Only from the rabbis. Velo bekamia. This is an interesting one. Khmer. Let me explain a little bit about Khmers. Khmer is a type of parchment. You would go to a person who's like a Kabbalistic guy, a Mekubal, and if you were sick, he would write certain lachashim, certain things over there, and you will put it into there. Now, what's the inyan of Khmer? Khmer actually works beautifully. Why? It's the placebo effect. You know what's placebo effect? Placebo works brilliantly. In most medicine that you have today, it's like 20% placebo. Mm-hmm. What do you mean? If you tell the guy you're going to feel better, you give him sugar, that's it. He's going to feel better because he believes that it works.
You gave him something.
That you gave him something to work.
Same as the Khmer.
So the question is, the Khmer, does it work or doesn't it work? So let's say over here, you're allowed to go without in the public domain, or you're not allowed to go in the Rishut HaRabim with the Khmer. So let's say, ולא בקמע, כתב של מיני תפילות ושמות מיוחדים. It's written by all types of davening and special names of God, או קשור או קשר של עיקרי הסבים. Or it's a kind of all kinds of reeds and spices that the guy puts together and he gives it to you to put it on your wound. שתולים בצוואר לרפואה ולסגולה. That you put, it's even better, it doesn't have to be directly on the wound, you would tie it like a necklace and it will be in a bag, all kinds of things. So let's see the idea here. Are you allowed to wear it or you're not allowed to wear it? So it's very simple. If the Khmer was given to you by a doctor, we're going to see what the definition of a doctor is.
You have to do it.
By a doctor. By a doctor. So let's see what the doctor is. It means somebody who's reliable. Somebody you can, not any guy in the street corner you can buy it from. But here we have a definition of a doctor soon. If he's a doctor, בזמן שאינו מן המומחה, at the time you didn't get it from an expert, it's just the guy around the corner who did it. You know, in our days, let's put it, let's talk practically. In our days, what's the difference in our days? You got it from a person who is homeopathic. What does it mean? There's no study to show that it works. He says it works. The other guy says this works. The other guy does it. Anybody can say whatever they want. In other words, there's no really proof that is not an expert. Then it's a problem. But if you get from an expert, whatever the expert is, we're going to see soon what an expert is, then it's okay. בזמן שאינו מן המומחה, the time is not from an expert, מאדם מומחה, from an expert. What's אדם מומחה? שריפא כבר בכמיעות 3 אנשים. That he already healed in כמיעות 3 people. That he has a, what do you call it? History. He has reputation, history.
He healed the people.
That's right.
No problem.
That's right. שהואיל וקמע זה אינו מן המומחה, it says, because if it's not from an expert, the problem is not with the expert. You know who the problem is? With you. What's your problem? אינו סומך עליו כל כך. You don't trust him so much. וחוששים, because you don't trust the doctor, what are you worried? שמא יורידנו ויטלטלנה בידו. Maybe he's going to come and you're going to take it off from your hand. So let's give an example. You know all these guys who says, hey, maybe this is true. They go and they try a little bit of this spice, a little bit of this spice. And then some other doctor comes and tells them, oh, maybe I should try also this, also this. It means, you know what it means if you change like this in 2 days? What the first doctor told you and you go to the second doctor, it means you don't trust it. It means that if you're going to come out in the middle of the street and you find in your mind, oh, this is a better doctor, if you take this one off because you think this is better medicine, you're not allowed to go out with it. That's what it means. So it means that if you know for sure in your mind, I'm never taking it off because I know this is going to heal me, then you're allowed to wear it. But if you're not sure 100%, oh yes, maybe this works, this is not good enough to go out in the public domain with. אבל אם הקמע הוא מן המומחה, but if it's from an expert, that way for sure you're not going to take it off. You know, I'm going to take it off, I'm going to die, in your mind. Even though you might not. But in your mind, you trust him. הואיל ואין חשש שמא יורידנו, you're not worried, he's going to take it off. מותר לצאת בו בשבת לרשות הרבים, שתכשיטו לו. Then it's considered to be a תכשיט. Finished. Next one. ולא בשריון. A person is not allowed to go out with, what do you call it? In English? Not a shield, armor. With armor. They used to have armor. Now will you say, what's the armor? Because in many times it used to be a tachshit. You know, only the knights wore armor. It was a status symbol. It was like, he's someone important. ולא בשריון, בימי מתכת שהיו לובשים אנשי צבא, it's metal that the people in the army used to wear, לשם הגנה, in order for protection, מפגיעות האויב, to protect them from the enemy. Again, even though some people use it as a תכשיט, we're going to consider it as armor and carrying. ולא בקסדה, same thing about a helmet. בכובע ברזל של איש צבא, again, people used to wear it as a status symbol, but we're going to consider it as a tool. ולא במגפיים. And same thing in מגפיים. נעלי ברזל גבוהות שנעלים במלחמה. Again, it was to be armor shoes. כל אלו הועיל והם ידי צבא מיוחדים, even though the people use them for תכשיטים also, but because they're designated for fighting, and only for the time of war, לפיכך אסרו חכמים לצאת בהם בשבת. Therefore the sages forbade them to wear them on Shabbat. ואם יצא, and if he went out with all the things, אדם באחד מאלה שינויים בשנתנו, if a person went out with one of the things, אינו חייב חטאת. Again, it is not a prohibition from the Torah, because people do use it as jewelry. People do use it as it's a derech levisha. It's the way you wear it. In other words, you're not carrying it. That's the way you wear it. שאינו אסור לצאת בהם אלא מדברי סופרים מהטעמים שביארנו לעיל. They're only prohibited from the rabbis. From all the examples we mentioned above, again, because people wear them, also for status symbol, and it's derech levisha, and that's the way you wear them.